Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another session of the Business Renovator. I am Coach Phil, your host. We have an artist joining us today. I met him many years ago at a networking function, and I want to help share his story around art and business and art. But before I do that, here's a plug from my company. Well, there's who I'm affiliated with, the Focal Point, and which brings me to Brian Monahan's book, Customer Delight 365. Hang on, let me go find it. Where did he go? Here he is right there. Customer Delight 365, which was created and curated by my buddy Brian Monahan. On this particular day, I'm going to talk about a Brian Tracy quote. And in here, Brian says, successful people are always looking for opportunities to help others. I picked this, I'm not finished yet. I picked this because it resonates with my guest. Successful people are always looking for opportunities to help others. Unsuccessful people are always asking, what's in it for me? Brian Tracy. So Brian Monahan, the author of this book, his take on that is if you're listening to What's in It for Me, WIIFM radio, and your customer service professional, you are a customer professional service person, you're tuned into the wrong station. What's in it for your customers is more important. Your station should be KSAS, Keep Smiling and Serving. You can pick up KSAS worldwide. You just need to remember to tune in. Brilliant words from my friends Brian and Brian. How about that? Two Brians. It's like the two Ronnies, a comic show from England, and I digress. So I said I have an artist on the show, and I said I'm really excited to hear about art and business and art. And I'm going to bring Scott up right now to join me. Oh, look at that. I got the background in there. Let me get rid of that. You'd think I've never done this before. There we go. Brian's getting too much credit. So good morning and welcome, Scott. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Phil.
I'm going to just say a few things about you. I was reading your bio, and when I met you, I felt
Can't really hear you yet, Phil.
You can't hear me yet. Why can't you hear me? Is your sound on? Well, that's embarrassing. Apparently, Scott can't hear me. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah,
Hello, Scott. Can you hear me now? Scott, can you hear me now? This is like a commercial. We're having technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
sorry, Phil, I don't hear your.
I didn't change anything at my end. Well, anyway, Scott is an artist. Unfortunately, he can't hear me, so he won't be able to answer any of the questions I'm going to ask him.
Sorry, can't hear you, Phil. Don't know what's going on.
We're having technical difficulties.
No, sorry, I still can't hear you.
Well, this is pretty interesting. I don't know what to say. If he can't hear me, he
Oh, you
won't be
can
able to
hear me?
answer any. Absolutely can hear.
I can't hear you. I don't know what's happening here.
Well, maybe I do not know what to say except for, life is full of opportunities
Oh, I
to
can't.
adapt.
I've tried jacking up my volume.
This is live. So life offers up an opportunity to adapt. So what I'm going to do, because I can't hear him, we'll have to come back and do this another time. But before we do that, I want to share some of the wonderful artwork that Scott has created over his life. And I will talk to you about what I know he does. So just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as I get the pictures up here. Just one moment. We'll be here just in a sec. So here we are. This is Scott's handiwork. This is a painting that he's done. And unfortunately, I can't tell you the mode and the way he painted it and what inspired him to do it. But just look at the work he's done. He's a teacher. He's an artist. He's amazing when it comes to art. Well, he's amazing in other ways too, as you'll see. This is another one with a policeman holding a baby. I think it's a relatively new baby. And here's Art Blakely, somebody who I was going to ask Scott about to find out what the history of this is and who he is and what inspired him to actually create this masterpiece. And the last one is this young angel. Now, this is this lovely young lady with somebody that inspired Scott to do something, to take the lead. So is he not only an artist, a teacher, a husband, a good friend, good neighbor? He's a brilliant neighbor. There was a tragedy that happened many years ago, and Scott felt it in his heart because of this tragic moment. There was a terrible windstorm, and some construction material were blown off the high rises in downtown Calgary. And as a result of that, there was a life taken. So Scott wanted to help the family out in these awful, awful times. And he painted this picture and auctioned off the original one to raise money. And that's not the only thing Scott did. Scott also created an event so that the auction was there. There was a silent auction and there was a live auction, and many things were bought by many people to support it. But he put this all together, and he had his driving force behind it. So what I'm going to do, because Scott's having a difficult time hearing what I'm saying, is I'm going to invite Scott to come back on another day when we can get the technology sorted out at his end or my end. And we'll get his story on all these pieces of art and how it applies to business and how he's teaching the young and the old and everybody in between the magic of being an artist. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the technical difficulties we had with not being able to hear Scott, but it is what it is, and we adapt. We are the Business Renovator. If you like this and want to catch the next show, make sure that you pay attention to our schedules and our Facebook postings. And if you liked it and watching it at a later date, hey, please go #replay and share this out with those that you care about. You just never know whom we may have an impact on because you shared this out. With that, I wish you a wonderful day, and the wonderful is spelled with a U, WUNDERFUL, because you are wonderful. On that note, we're out of here for today.